Genshin.
So many trappers. Really got a lot going for it.
Try some people, don't mind me. Should I think I may have this money?
Wouldn't gliding be faster? Yeah! Wow! It looked impressive enough from the out. This is where all of Tavatsumura's Oh, so it's a trap! But even if we can't take, or better yet, take a nap on top. Oh, right! It's quiet. Huh? Look! What happened? Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia...
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why—
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross. Where should I start? Well, I've never been one to beat around the bush, you know. But if it weren't for that lovely little stopping the more immense—
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from...
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty. She will get that which she desired. I'm not asking for your blessing. The time for discussion and diplomacy. Either way, we now— the battle.
Battle? So you're...
You could— when Signora instead of confronting you directly, when she faces a worthy opponent. But as for me—
We won't let what happened in months...
Oh, so you intend— Besides, you could never defeat me. Fighting talk, I love it! This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with the Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint.
Here we go!
Try this. Poor time.
Brace yourself! Think you can get away?
You're wide open.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
How unbecoming. Not bad, not bad. Guess I should take you more seriously. Good. No wonder Senora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
How rude! Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Something else catch your eye?
Oz, reveal thyself!
Fräulein.
All you do is learn. No use hiding back there.
Time for retribution.
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected! Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now! I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
dance.
You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now. Don't make me take it from you.
We didn't take it!
Verdict is...
Yahoo! I'll protect us. Here we go. Oz, reveal thyself. Insubordination. One shall descend once again. Think you can get away?
Die here.
Time for retribution!
By royal decree!
No rest for the wicked.
Ready, steady, go! Let's play! Wouldn't gliding be faster? Yahoo! Oz, reveal thyself!
You're cut above.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you! We didn't take it!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, you already know the answer, don't you? I can see it, but if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to...
Pretty sure that's not...
Unfortunately, given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by any... In fact, in my...
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process. The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. I seldom willingly involve. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky.
So what are you planning to...
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyan's stone forest.
A god?
Osile, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the GR Archon in the Archon War. and who has remained pinned. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Leo, do you think the cunning Rex Lap...
But the Archon warned...
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey! Those are sigils and permission! Oh, Paimon remembers now!
Indeed. The one that was with the power of so many sigils of using the powers of ancient god, but knowing that such an action... Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone! That guy is fast! What's going on? If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber, did we make it in time?
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on! It's the Adepti! What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chising. Is the fighting over?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue? Just seeing this overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy, even from all the way out here.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before—
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary. So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is not necessarily.
What? But all of you are supposed to be the guardians of Liyue. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet it would take but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now. Yep.
The 3 Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
Killjoy! We've only just begun! Looks like I went to burn!
By royal decree!
My duty at an end.
Verdict is...
I miscalculated.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Think you can get away?
Ancient gods attacking again! There are so many between too! We can't look!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is temple energy! That light from your body, it's like the time in Julian Cars! Wow! It's Madam Pink's shockwave! This granny's really strong!
This isn't good.
By royal decree!
My duty.
I summon thee!
With the blood of the Chelian, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Ganya's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
I summon thee! Look at me! By royal decree! Just once.
Time for retribution!
Midnight Phantasmagoria! I summon thee!
My work.
I
exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak. In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Wings of darkness! Come, sever night from day!
I guess this is it.
By royal decree! Midnight Phantasmagoria! I summon thee!
Send this quickly! I guess this is it.
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace!
Oh, reveal thyself!
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebearers, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millilith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern ride.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Oh.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own, so Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's going. Let's ask for him at Wangshan. Funeral parlor.
Salto.
Is there anything I can do for you two?
We've come to see Zhongli.
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting, we had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
You call this cooperation between harbingers? Cooperation involves communication.
Don't take it to heart, child. Oh, it seems...
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you're...
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty. You remember the agreement, Morax.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Geo? No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Liyue goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all...
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best, as you know. Even boulders that until one drizzly... I stood motionless among...
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to was Liyue, so I feigned my own death. Indeed I was, that's right.
So you mean that it...
Of course. And it just as a child...
In the end, take the Adepti for it. Credit is also due to... This meant I could remit... All of these things turned... I had expected them to do no more. They seized the opportunity to...
Huh? That...
On the...
Hey, what about me?
I think that thanks would... If you hadn't created the...
Huh? Just whose side are you on? Be that as it may.
Well then...
Fine.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else?
Right! As Zhongli always...
Realistically speaking.
Huh?
However, I am the god of my agreement with the Cryo Archon. As for the bargaining chip, uncover that answer for yourself.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.